So we're going to move the topic a little about IT as an advantage. This is going to be obviously the cost benefits of cloud investments.
I think we were already talking about it without even realizing it.
Yeah. So it's a cost center, right? So we touched the fact that IT being spread out across different SaaS applications and cloud applications, and the advantages of utilizing those, right? So there's definitely some cost savings with regards to, and we talked about continuity and having that part of your organization strategy. What are some other topics, Ryan, that come to mind from an IT as an advantage?
Well, I think that I've come to this realization over the last, I guess, year or two. Every business is an IT business, whether they realize it or not. I don't know one organization that isn't reliant on technology at this point. We're all technology businesses. It just is the way it is. Everything from the guy making sandwiches down the street, the only way that he makes money is that his point of sale computer works. His credit card terminal works. Same thing for a movie theater, for a consulting practice. They've got to bill hours. They've got to have their software running. So I really have come to the mindset that every business is an IT business. Mm-hmm. Every business is a technology business, because when their technology doesn't work, they're not in business. So how do you use IT as an advantage? Knowing that fact, right? I'll put it out there. That's a fact. Every business is a technology business in this day and age. How do you leverage that, know and understand it, and use IT as advantage for your growth, your scalability, your ability to increase productivity? That's the big question. And I don't have the answer of how each business does it, but it's something they need to think about, of how do we leverage technology to drive our organization forward? How do we develop faster? How do we innovate faster utilizing technology? And one of the things that I've noticed with the advent of the cloud over the last, 10 years that it's been slowly coming, is you see the iteration of product faster. Somebody has a wild, crazy, big, hairy, audacious idea, and they can quickly spin up something in a cloud, do some software development, and they can have that to market, that minimum viable product to market in months, not years. Yep. I mean, you in an organization, you say, hey, we have a skunkworks type project we want to work on, and maybe we're going to solve this problem with some automation. We're going to design some software. They can literally spin that up in the cloud with no capital expenditure whatsoever. Just turn it on. It works great. It doesn't work, turn it off. Yep. So they can iterate, design, develop, fail fast with a cloud world versus spending $200,000 to build this infrastructure to run this maybe idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and certainly us as a support company, a service-oriented support company, we've seen transitions on how that works, right? We typically, 10 years ago, our support model was to support, servers that were in a closet and a network and users' computers. Now that all this information's up in the cloud, you may move your email or your data or your files up to 365, to SharePoint, to their mail system. I think oftentimes there's a misconception where, if I move my, all of my services up to a cloud, do I need IT support? Do I need an IT guy to support the environment? What does that look like, right? Do I call Microsoft if my email goes down, or if I have problems with connection? Who do I call it? And so we've seen our service model shift to kind of being vendor management and vendor related, because we still need to interface with those vendors and being able to understand how all of those pieces work in harmony, especially from a security perspective, when you have data kind of floating around between multiple data silos and computers, but having IT support systems that is able to understand all of those different applications, all those different cloud layers, and be able to interface with your end users, right? You can't expect to have an end user understand where all of your different cloud providers are, and if they have a problem with any one issue, who do I call, right? Do I call Microsoft for this problem? Do I call QuickBooks or Intuit? What do I do?
Yeah, the IT department role, whether you use an outsourced managed service provider like IronEdge or you have internal IT, that department's still a requirement. You're never going to get rid of that. You have to have that frontline IT service, user experience management layer,
Mhm.
whether it's an on-prem server that they're managing in the back end or a cloud system they're managing in the back end, because this layer knows your business and how everything interacts. So without that, cloud won't be successful. You can't just pick up the phone and call Microsoft and say, hey, I can't get this email on my phone. They're not set up to have those calls. In fact, the majority of clouds and SaaS application vendors are not frontline support. They don't do that tier one. And those that do have no concept of how that interacts with that within your business.
Mhm.
And so you have to have this layer, whether internal or outsourced, that understands both your business and how you're using the cloud and where the cloud sits in your organization to manage it, to manage that user experience, to ensure that your employees are productive, and that IT is an advantage.
Yeah.